look at this. Look at the battling, and it is a safety car. Here comes Mika into Stoke corner. Whoa! Almost. And away we go here in the Netherlands for F1 down towards the next couple. Oh, it is! Oh my god! Whoa! Bit of a season as Nano wins in Monza for FRLT Tier 1 of 4 and right minutes! Oh, he goes! Hello, and welcome to FRLT 4s. It is time here on Sunday, yes, a very interesting Sunday, to come to round number 5 in the season. And this round number 5 is Austria. As you can see, it is 4.318 kilometers, 2.683 miles, 10 turns, 3 DRS zones down the pit straight, second straight, and, well, main straight really, and down that back straight. Also, looking at the calendar, as you can see, we have gone through Abu Dhabi, Monza, Spain, and Imola. Now, this week, we come to Austria. We'll be having a break week next week before we go to Las Vegas, Brazil, Great Britain over August, and then another break week before we go to Bahrain, Qatar, and Australia to end the season in 4s. Looking at the standings, it is looking very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. As you see, SKG lead the championship. I know it's only got 2 cars on there. I know I can see. I know you can only see 2 cars on there. For the moment. But that is because it's based off of cars that you can. Basically, who score points. It's just off of who score points because we sadly don't have space in the standings to put all 4 cars for the moment, based off of the current design. But as you can see, SKG took a very, very nice 18 points last race, bringing themselves to 85 points in the championship. Just 5 points ahead of AZR. Took a lovely podium and a P5 finish. Much more points for them. Much more points. 24 points compared to just 18. So it was a bit spaced out for, of course, themselves. You know, it's getting very close at the top of the championship. So that is, I think that's going to be pretty important. Hello, Ethan. Welcome to the stream. AZR, nicely in there. UFRT as well, in 3rd in the championship. 70 points, just 15 points behind, so they've got a chance. Peck down in 4th in the championship, but still ahead of TDR, who took a triple points finish last week. So it's pretty strong for them. But we are now into qualifying. For tonight, we're into qualifying. Finally, we're in. It's nice to be into qualifying, to be honest, and that's just the game being a bit funny. I think I've got to send somebody a lovely invite because somebody wasn't on time. I get annoyed by this very often. drivers not being on time. I'm doing great, Ethan. I'm doing absolutely great. As you can see, we've only got 17 drivers in. We are set to get another shortly. So we will have 18. AZR, they're really in this championship. SKG have kind of gone back-to-back poor races now. Spain was rough for them. I think they only got P7, I think, or something like that. They only got, I think, 9 points or something. So they had a really, really, really low points yield in round 3 in Spain, as it is a UFRT car of Robbie out onto track first here tonight. But yeah, so it was a tough one to start for. It was a tough start. You know, it was a tough race in Spain for SKG, and it was a tough race last round as well. Like I showed, picking up not the best of points. You know, only 18 points. So we'll have to see how they'll do. UFRT though, as we can see on screen, are also in this battle, very much in this battle as well, just 15 points behind in the championship. Really, I could see AZR and UFRT hoping for a bad day for SKG. I mean, they are at risk of going from, out of the first race, clearly fastest of all, to now potentially, based off of the last 2 races, by the way, they are currently the 4th quickest team, so they are struggling for pace. But let's ride on board with Robbie, who starts off our qualifying session here in Austria as he crosses the line to start the lap. As you can see, already starting to head up the steep hill into turn 1. You've got to throw the car through. You've got to get it threaded through, and he does it perfectly there. Again, the rear wing open for a second time all the way down. Now through turn 2, just a flat-out kink in the road before you hit turn 3, which is, of course, the hairpin. You've got to hit this right, and Robbie does it just perfectly there. A little bit of sliding on the rear, and again, he's going to open DRS for that 3rd time. Triple DRS zones, which is absolutely incredible around this track. As you head down the hill now into the tight turn 4, you've got to get this corner right, and he just about does. A little bit clambering over the curbs, not exactly what you wanted. Now into turn 6 and 7 next. You've got to get them right. A little bit wide through there, not getting it perfectly close. Much better through turn 7. Turn 6. We've gone through turn 7 now. Turn 9 and 10 these are, I believe. And throwing the car through. Can't remember how many corners Austria has anymore. But there we go. The quickest lap in the season. 1 minute 3.903. And that is the first lap of qualifying set. Daniel Mas can't beat that. He can only do a 4.112. Yanez goes the fastest, 1 minute 3.310. Lumi goes P2, 1 minute 3.535, so quite a bit further behind in pace for the moment. Dumb Donut does a 3.7 when he crosses the line. That is Speed Master, who came over the line. Rob goes P4 in all of that, a 3.7, not entirely there. That is Nilo's teammate, Batiste, who went P3. He did a 3.6. Pretty close in lap times. F1 Fingers just goes into P8 there, only with a 4.1 as well. Just 1,000th of a second slower than Daniel Mas. Camper goes into P7, 1 minute 3.9, set by himself. Robbie, now P6. He's sort of quite far down the order and all of that. Trusted, next cross line, he needs a good race, and so does TDR. They need a good race to sort of take themselves off of that bottom position, and he can only do a 4.8, so he's far off the pace at the moment, 1.5 seconds behind. Nilo goes P2. That's what he needs. Very much for AZR. That's very much what they need as a team, and that's a good lap. Speedmaster now coming across the line. Where's he going to go? He goes P5. Don't know who's next. Cross line. I think that's Dumb Donut who's going for another lap. But so far, it is SKG on pole, but AZR locking out 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at the moment. AZR really pushing for that, really pushing for that sort of for that championship lead. Tallow went P12. BB the Flash goes into P3. Very, very interesting lap there from Bibby the Flash. Strong lap there from himself. But you can see that first lap set by Robbie in P9. You know, that 1 minute 3.903 is proven not to stand for long. And there's only P9 in the grid. Gustav making his way round. One of 4 drivers yet to set a lap time in this session. Already, we're below the 12.5 minutes left in this session. We've almost already gone through 6 minutes in this session already. Heading round, he's got 2 more corners to negotiate. SKG showing a new driver here today in their lineup, which is great to see new drivers. It is really good to see new drivers. But he can only go P11. 1 minute 4.080 is his lap time. That's not where he'd want to be. And Dark Ben has already invalidated his lap. Is he going to be going for another lap? Yes, he will be. He will be going for another lap here tonight. We got Speedmaster who's making his way around. He's not much up on his first sector. It's right on board with the Sauber. He's got enough fuel to finish this lap. Will he finish this lap? We'll have to see, because he was only 13 thousandths off in his first sector, but a bit of sliding through turn 4. Not what you need. He's up by 1/10 and a half, so he's definitely pushing. This is going to send him to about P4 at the moment. He could maybe capture P3 if he can find a bit more time. He needs a little bit more time, but let's see how much he'll gain. Flat out. And again, pushing incredibly hard all the way to the limit. What is Speedmaster going to do when he crosses the line? And it is 69 thousandths slower when he does ultimately cross the line there. Not really what you hope to see. Not what you hope to see from anybody. Very, very, not what you want to see from him at all. Dark Ben, he invalidated again, so he's not able to get that lap in at the moment. Batista's on his out lap. I think we've got Speedmaster who is slowly going round, but there is somebody on a fast lap. That's Daniel who's on a fast lap for AZR. He's the outlier at the moment in their team. He's a bit off of the pace, but he's found over 3.5 tenths, so he's clearly finding a lot more time compared to that first run. Track evolution is quite strong around this track as well, so that's why I think we're seeing the second runs being a lot more powerful. But you can see again the front of that RB getting away from Daniel, just slightly struggling to get the car turned in. Across the line, he goes P4 ahead of his teammate Lumi and ahead of Batiste. And that's a strong lap from himself. Rob is just starting a lap there. I think we got Dark Ben who's making his way around. 44.8 in the middle sector. Not sure whether that's good or not because we can't see the times. Ultimately, not a great lap, only P15 from himself, so not what he needs. Woody is finishing his lap there. I think we've got Nilo, it's Batiste making his way around, up by almost 0.2 of a second already in his lap. Batiste, fastest of all, 1 minute 3.285. What we thought was an untouchable time has now clearly come into sight for himself. And that is a very, very strong run there. Tallow is the next to cross the line. Then I believe it is, yes, it is Dumb Donut making his way round. Then it's Nilo, who's up by 93 thousandths in his middle sector. So if he can find a bit more time, can he? Yes, he does. He pushes it all the way up to the line there. And across the line he goes, only 200ths found, and he stays P3. Bit of disappointment there for himself. Rob goes P4. And a very strong lap. Very, very strong lap from Rob there, I have to say. That's Ben slowly making his way into the pits. And I think that's Woody as well on his way in. He's not particularly happy with his run. Finger's making his way round. He's on his out lap. Batiste is on his way in. I think we have Trusted making his way round to finish his lap. He's only up by 85 thousandths. And again, he's just far off the pace so far. Bit disappointing to see, to be honest. Quite disappointing to see. Tallow can't improve. He's coming into the pits. He's not happy with his lap at all. Dumb Donut making his way round. He is going to finish his lap. He's throwing everything he's got up to the line. What can Dumb Donut do? He can go P4 ahead of Rob. And that's an incredible lap there. Nilo doesn't improve. He had quite a slow lap. BB the Flash is slowly making his way round. That's Lumi that's coming up next. I think that was Rob heading into the pits. So we've got to look to one of the Saubers. It is Speedmaster, who's just starting his lap. Then it's Yanez Bohm, who's going slowly. It's his teammate Fingers, who goes over! And that is disappointment, because that would have been half a second, and that would have been the top 7. That's where he could have gone. Too much pushing there, and now here comes Trusted into the pits. I think we've got Camper, who's making his way round for Peck. Let's see what he can do when he crosses the line. He finds 3.5 tenths and goes P9 in the end. So, pretty strong lap there from himself. BB the Flash has invalidated his lap, so disappointment there. Lumi as well. Ooh, a bit of pain coming in for a few drives at the moment. Dumb Donut is on his way into the pits. Speedmaster making his way around. Up by half a second at the moment. There's a car sitting on the apex. He's got... Whoa! Ooh, very close there, I have to say. And across the line, Speedmaster P2! 1 minute 3.307, and that is some competition for Batiste and Yanez Maybohm at the moment. Quite a bit of competition going on there. Daniel Maas is the next one to come across the line. And Yanez Maybohm has invalidated his lap anyway, so it is disappointment there. Unable to improve on his lap. Not what you expect to see. Woody's making his way round now. Next driver to be on a lap is BB the Flash. He's down by 99 thousandths though in his middle sector. The SKG driver just not finding time in his lap so far. And it is quite frustrating, I have to say, for BB here. It is going to be really frustrating. Oh, he cuts across the pit entry line. That's going to be... that if that gets reported, that will be a penalty. So disappointment. Lumi as well invalidating on his lap. Massive disappointment there for himself. You know, not what you expect. Rob is on an out lap. Then we have Speedmaster who's making his way into the pits. So he's on his way in. Gustav making his way round. And he goes deep. And that is an invalidation. And that would have been 3 tenths. But that would have only been P11. So 1 place gain. That's all it would have gotten him in the end. So he did not get what he wanted. Daniel going slowly round the track. He's not been able to set it. And Woody, oh! Woody loses a part of his front wing. And that's his front wing end plate that comes off. And that was a little bit toasty for a minute there. Just getting a little bit toasty. So a bit of a tough one. There. Justin starting his lap as well. Who have we got heading round? Gustav is going round slowly. Rob is going round slowly as well. So at the moment, doesn't look like there's really anybody on a fast lap for now. Except Daniel. Daniel looks like to be the man to be on a fast lap. He's pushing hard. On board with the RB. Making his way round into the final corner. He goes wide, and that's an invalidation. And where would have he gone with that? He would have actually been slower in the end. So, disappointment there for himself. Next is Justin. Let's ride on board with a Haas of Justin. 44.4 is his middle sector. Quite strong, but a bit of oversteer hitting as he hit that curb there. Into the final corner goes Justin. Oh, he just invalidates. And that would have only been P12 for the pet driver. Not close enough. Not close enough at all. Dark Ben is the next driver to be starting a lap. Let's see how he's going to do. As he's only set a 4.3 at the moment. He needs to find a lot of time to really gain places. He needs at least 7/10 to go up into P10. So he's going to need to find a lot of time. Let's see whether he can do it or not. Into turn 1. That Red Bull looking stuck to the track. Very strong and already 10 seconds into his lap. Already a sixth of the way into his lap. As he now heads up the hill. First sector, he's up by a 1/10.5 already. That's already going to send him to P14, so he's already up a place based off of that first sector. And that first sector only has, realistically, just one corner, I should say, in all of it. And into turn 4, throwing the car through. And that's just beautiful. The Red Bull just coming alive for Ben here. The car's absolutely come alive for him. He's got extra fuel on board as well. Just dancing through, half a second up now. Saying about those 7/10 he needed. Looks like he might even get them. As now he makes his way through into the second to last corner. Now into the last corner. He's got to get this right though. Can't go wide. He doesn't go wide. He absolutely perfectly threads it through. And he goes P11. He finds 6/10. Just a 10th more and he would have been P10. So he needed just a little bit more time. But that's still a good enough lap in the end for himself. Trying to see who's next across the line. Trusted making his way round. Then we got BB. Not BB. It's Gustav coming across the line next. Is that Nilo? Nilo improves. And Nilo to pole position. 1 minute 3.247. Oh my god, he's crashed into the wall. Okay. Okay. Interesting. As Robbie starts off his lap, we got to look to Speedmaster, who's starting off his lap as well. Daniel's next. I think it's Woody who's coming around. He's been able to get through this lap across the line. He only goes P15, so a bit of disappointment there for himself. Rob is crossing the line next. Who's around? Dark Ben also starting off his lap. Dumb Donuts coming across the line. Who's next? We're going to see who pops up next. Don't know who's next. As Trusted goes P13. And Gustav now goes P13. Just jumping ahead at the last chance. Tallow coming round. Where's he going to go to? He's going to go P13 now. The battle for P13. Yannis Mayboom can't steal pole. He's 3,000ths behind. Batiste can't either. BB the Flash goes up to P5. Absolutely crazy. It's going a little bit crazy here. Speedmaster making his way round. He's not improving. Robbie's retired from the session. Speedmaster's done. Lots of drivers retiring. They know they haven't gotten a good enough lap in. So quite a few drivers coming around with disappointment in their final runs. Rob up to line. Where can Rob go? Is Rob going to go? He's only going to stay P7 for now. Only P7 for himself. And Fingers goes P11. And I think that is it. Is Nilo on pole, followed by Yannis Mayboom and Batiste in third. So, let's have a look at the grid for this exciting race. Nilo is on pole, followed by Yannis Mayboom, Batiste, then Speedmaster, BB the Flash, Dumb Donut, Rob, Camper, Daniel Mass, and Lumi ending out the top 10. Then it's Fingers, Dark Ben, Robbie, Tallow, Gustav, Trusted, Woody, and Justin to end off the grid. I'm quite excited for this race, though. I'm very excited for this race. So let's see. What are the conditions going to be like here tonight? Are they going to be nice and dry? Or is it going to be wet racing once again? It is dry. It is dry here for Austria. So that's going to be interesting. Honestly, I will be back. Well, we were back for more racing, weren't we? So we're waiting to get underway. We'll be getting underway in about 3 minutes' time. Interesting poll from AZR. It's the first team other than SKG or PEC to take pole this season. So it's interesting to see AZR on pole. So 3 out of the 5 teams now have been on pole this season. UFRT yet to take a pole. And TDR yet to take a pole this season. Interesting though for UFRT, the guys running in 3rd in the championship yet to take a pole. Very similar to last season. Not so good in qualifying, better in the races from UFRT. That's very true. They've been a lot better in the races than qualifying. We see this in assists, no assists, and here in fours. Their qualifying form isn't exactly there. You know, they've had a couple of struggles this season when it comes down to qualifying form. So we'll have to see how this race is going to go, to be honest. So we're going to be getting underway in the next minute. I have to say I'm quite excited to see how this is going to go in the next minute or so. So we're waiting to see for when the racing gets underway for the fours. Is just teams of 4 instead of 2. So there's only 5 teams instead of 10. But I can hear we are about to go. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go here in Austria for FRLT Force, round number 5 in Season 5. And it is a great getaway from Nilo. He leads into turn 1. You can see a lot of carnage happening further back. Speedmaster making his way up into P3. Lots of battling throughout the order. You can just see as all the cars snake through turn 2 and up into the hairpin of turn 3. You can see further back Daniel Mass trying to make a move. Down the inside! 3 wide from Robbie there. He's really making it interesting. Lumi down to P14. He's battling through the order. Few cars getting stranded further back. One car's going the wrong way, and that is Fingers. Tallow as well. trusted on top of that. Lots of drivers having a terrible moment further back as now Gustav makes his way up to P11. Camper leaves the session. Looks like he's disconnected. And this is all turning out to be quite interesting. But Nilo leads away off of lap 1 and heading towards the end of this opening lap of this 36 lap race. But it is a great getaway from the AZR driver looking for their second win of the season. As now you can see Jannes Meyboom very close behind. Now with the DRS, is Jannes Meyboom going to take back that lead of the race into turn 3? No, he's not. He's waiting behind. Maybe he's waiting for that chance into turn 4. It's not been the best of exits from the man of Nilo. It's a struggle. Finges now retires from the session off of lap 1. And there goes Jannes Meyboom into the lead of the race here in Austria. And it is an absolutely brilliant start for SKG. Exactly what they needed. Heading around though, a lot of the grid still incredibly close together, proving that they are all on very similar pace as shown in qualifying. They're all very close, also half a second for most of the grid. They were all within, so I have to say it's looking incredibly close here. Very short track. Jannes Meyboom just set the fast lap of the race. 1 minute 6.0 is the time to beat. Let's have a look at some of the tyres. Everybody's on mediums except Daniel Maz on softs, Woody on hards, and Tallow also, who've just gone to hards now. Great start from Dark Ben and Robbie. Same for Gustav and Justin, all up a few places. We can see some movement further back. That's Daniel Mass having a bit of a battle further back. And Daniel battling over P6 with BB the Flash. Now, look at this. Nilo trying to take the lead. It looks like a mistake from Jannes Meyboom. Now, who is going to lead? It is going to be Nilo, who retakes the lead of the race. And that is an absolutely brilliant start. I have to invite a lovely driver back incredibly quickly. As quickly as I can. If I can find him. Please say I can find him. Camper. No, he's not showing up online. No, he's there. He is there. I'm just being blind. And that is Nilo back up into the lead of this race. But look at this. Look at this Speedmaster trying to make his way past at the same time. Into turn 1 they go, side by side. Jannes Meyboom has to go off the track. Is he going to have to get back that position all the time? As Nilo now drops down the order. Looks like Nilo's made a mistake. Nilo's just dropping through the order. I'm not sure what's happening there. Has Nilo picked up some damage or something? Because his teammate, Batista's just gotten past him. Speedmaster's gone past him. And Jannes. So everybody getting past Rob, battling with Ben over P8 here. The incredibly hard points of 3 points in this race. And for some reason, drivers seem to think that it is fun to try and make me invite them all the time. But you can see Jannes Meyboom, and there goes Rob getting past Daniel Mass for P7 in the race. Mistake from Daniel Mass, but Jannes Meyboom leads away now by over a second in this race as well. He's really gotten away well. And this could be the start of dominance for SKG and Jannes Meyboom. But again, he's gone off track. It's the second time he's gone off track now. Back-to-back laps to this. Whoa! Somebody's had a big moment further back. That looks like to be Dumb Donut. Yes, he spun. He spun into turn 1. Absolute chaos. Rob battling with BB the Flash into turn 3. Rob gets ahead up into P5 now in this race. Robbie as well further back as he's made his way up to P9 ahead of Lumi and ahead of Justin. Whoa, a bit of contact there. Now into turn 4. We got battling double side by side. Daniel Mass and Lumi both trying to make their way past. Doug Ben holds on to P7 for now. And Lumi gets up into P9. And it's an absolute great one. Oh! Daniel dropping through the order. Absolute chaos happening in this mid-pack at the moment. And look at this. It looks like Daniel Masters on his way into the pits. Yes, he is. He's going to be one of the first drivers to be stopping on this strategy. He comes in on those soft tyres. Was that a mistake? Was that an error from Daniel Mass? Was it or wasn't it? We'll have to see. He's changing tyres. What is he changing to? He is changing to the medium compound. As Nilo now makes his way up into P3 in this race, trying to catch up to his teammate and give his teammate some support in tonight's race. See the gap between P1 and P2 below a second now. So Batista's been able to close that gap down to Yanaz Mayboom in the lead. Rob gets a 3-second time penalty, the first penalty of the evening. Then Robbie, absolutely immediately his teammate, following in his footsteps of getting a penalty out of the exact same corner. And now you can see Batiste gets that DRS. And this is where you're going to start to notice that it's quite important for closing the gap. About a tenth there, caught down the pit straight. Not risking any penalties. But yeah, now you can see just the gap. It's just closing and closing bit by bit. He closes the gap. But the overspeed means he has to brake a bit earlier. So he does lose time in the braking. Which of course is one of the biggest places to gain time. But you can see he's slowly gaining. But I have to say the straight line speed of Yanaz Mayboom is incredible at the moment in that McLaren. He's proving why he should definitely be in the lead of this race. With that straight line speed, it is looking pretty impossible to even get past them at this point. So we're going to have to see how that goes for everybody. And as the grid starts to space out a little bit more, as Gustav now makes the move past Woody for P11 in this race. But as everybody starts to space out a bit more, it's proving to get a little bit interesting. Out in front, the gap now coming down more and more, below 0.8 of a second. Bit of a mistake there from Yanaz Mayboom. Look at this, battling for P9, and I think that is Lumi heading to the pits. That's Robbie also into pits. 2 more cars into the pits in this race. Already a lot of drivers have stopped, and that opens more gaps, remember, as well, between the drivers. So less DRS throughout the grid, which is, I have to say, rather interesting. See the gap now, almost down to half a second between Yanaz Mayboom and Batiste. Look at this, BB the Flash, making his way past Rob for P5 in this race. And that's a great move there. Daniel Mass making his way up into P12, past Trusted, and a nice move on those fresh medium tyres. As his teammate Lumi follows closely behind, hoping to make the same move very, very soon. So that's going to be an interesting point to see where these early stoppers have gone. And there's a yellow flag. That is for Woody, who's gone off. You see the grass on his tyres. Not too good for himself there. More drivers now going into the pit lane. Rob and Ben, both into the pit lane. And they're on the mediums. 9 laps in. I mean, sorry, only 8 laps on those mediums. And they're already swapping to the hard tyres. Do they really think that's how much tyre wear there is? As now, Batiste takes the lead of the race here in Austria. Another race leader, but it's AZR back in the lead of the race. Can they take a back-to-back victory from Imola to Austria? Can they do it into turn 4? Look at that! Yanaz Mayboom down the inside! Contact between the two through turn 4. Yanaz Mayboom retakes the lead of the race, and Dumb Donut now retires from the race. And now, it looks like Yanaz Mayboom and Batiste are both coming into the pits. Really, it looks like these medium tyres have not lasted at all. They're very unhappy because they're going to go onto the hards, going on to lap 10. As a few drivers do stay out. That's Speedmaster, Nilo, BB the Flash, and Justin, who are all staying out. Same as Woody, I believe, as well. But that's how quickly the mediums have gone. Yeah, I know. It is going to be a 2-stop. Daniel Mass gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We can see a battle for the lead now between Speedmaster, Nilo, and BB the Flash. Batista's come out behind Daniel Mass and Lumi in all of that, so they've come out quite far behind us. Now Nilo takes the lead of the race for the second time this evening. And after having a bit of a moment, he's back up into the lead for AZR, as AZR will now lead another lap in tonight's race. And there goes Batiste past Janus Mayboom, and Batiste is trying to make the double overtake on Daniel Mass at the same time. Can he make the move work? Yes, he has. And now we got to look to Janus Mayboom down the inside of Daniel Mass, as he now makes the move past up into P8 as well. It's getting very interesting in this race, I have to say. It's getting incredibly interesting at the moment. It's getting very racy. But still, the top 4 yet to stop. Sorry, top 5 yet to stop in this race. As now Rob makes his move for P9. Ooh, going off there. Daniel Mass. The tyre's just not working for him at all tonight. It's not working at all. You can see a bit of a move happening here between Janus Mayboom and Batiste, and again a change for the lead as well. BB the Flash now into the lead of the race, out of turn 4. Yes, because my game sound is a little bit glitched at the moment, so I'm not putting it on full volume and destroying your ears. I'm doing it for your sake because it is painful in my ears. I shall be back in a quick second. I've quickly got to go grab something. Sadly, somebody is at my door, so I'll be really quick. And this is apologies to having to go and grab a drink and check if anybody was at the door, but nobody was. That was just me and Robbie. A bit of an intense battle with Daniel Mass and Ben. Proving to be quite interesting. You can see still a few drivers haven't come in yet. And that's Daniel Mass, who's had a moment, and he's had a spin. That's a massive moment for himself there. Disappointing day for him. Lumi up to P2. Justin's still out, but Lumi will take the eventual lead of the race. And look at that, Yanez off again for the 3rd time. Daniel Mass retires from the race, and the 3rd retirement from a different team. Now it's Mayboom down the inside, and gets past Lumi for P2 in this race. Batiste right behind the 2 of Lumi and of Janus Mayboom. So, as we watch on, Janus Mayboom is caught up to the back of Justin, who currently leads the race. You can just see, look at the closing distance on the fresh set of tyres. And look at that, within one corner he's already passed. And he's already gone. Justin trying to hold on to that P2. Can he or will he? And look at this. Batiste down the inside. He gets the move done. He needed to get that move done, and he has. And up into P3 he goes, chasing Lumi and Janez Mebom for the lead of this race. Rob now makes his way past into P4, but he's lost a bit of time trying to get past these guys. Now, as we watch the leaders of this race, we're reaching almost the halfway point in tonight's race. Already going by incredibly quickly. I have to say, it's going by very quickly here tonight. Every single lap, of course, quite a short race it is. Whoa, we got some sliding from Batiste in the braking zone. Definitely a two-stop in this race, but I can see these hards probably lasting till about lap 22, maybe to probably close to about lap 25. Then maybe they'll swap back to the mediums, or maybe another set of hards in this race, who knows. You see, still, Justin now heads into the pits, finally in this race. Top 4, all within DRS of each other. Rob has a penalty, so realistically only the top 3 in all of this for now. Janez Mebom leads away onto lap 16, nearing the halfway point of this race. Proving to be quite interesting, I have to say. It's proving to be a very interesting race so far. Got to invite another driver. Sadly, I've got another driver to invite because they've disconnected. Of course, it's so difficult for drivers. Of course, it's very sort of not soul destroying, but it's race destroying for a driver to miss out like that and to get disconnected from no fault of their own. But it's sadly the sort of game that you play sort of a bit, you know, it's very much about sort of luck and stuff. So we'll have to see. Robbie has retired from the race and left the session. And that is a massive retirement for UFRT. And that could very much be championship chances starting to wane as we end off the first half of the season. In this season, we're already about halfway through here in fours. That's because we haven't actually had a break week yet. I think next week is a break week. We've got 2 break weeks still left in the season. So we've still got some time. And now, as we've reached the halfway point, the first half of the race is now happening. And is coming to an end. We will be seeing one more stop, probably, I'd say, in about 6 to 7. I'd say about 5 to 7 laps is when we're going to see the next set of pit stops. But you can see, pretty quiet now out on track. 14 drivers going round. Nilo makes his way up into P5 in this race. He's had a bit of a struggle after stopping later. Being on those hard tyres, he's had a bit of his own struggles now. You can see that as he fights over P5. He was leading earlier, now far behind, which isn't great. Over 6 seconds behind the front pack, so he is very much stuck on his own in this group of 3 at the moment. Let's have a look at tyres. hard tyres for everybody except BB the Flash, who is now coming in. So everybody's on hard tyres, basically. So, very, very slow race. Tallo's already had 2 stops in this race, and BB the Flash is making his way in for his second stop. These are the penalties. 4 3-second penalties for Rob, Justin, Woody, and Gustav, and 10 seconds for Tallow. So, that's not too good for him in tonight's race. Hello, Isays. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well today. It's been a bit of a quiet race around Austria. I have to say the first 10 laps, very exciting. Went by incredibly quickly, but since then, very quiet. Very, very quiet. Which is interesting. I will say it is very interesting to see, because it's quiet for Austria. Now Lumi's going in on his hard tyres. He's heading in. Interesting, lap 20. He's going for another set of hards. A fresh set of hards goes onto his car. So he's going for that. He's had the space. He comes out in P7, so he's still going to take points in the end. Because, of course, he's still coming out in P7. That's his second stop. Finished on lap 20. As he goes on to lap 20. So, but look at the time he's lost already. These guys are 2-3 corners ahead of him. Before even right after his pit stop. But the lead still with Yanez Maybohm in this race. I have to say, it's been quite a very quiet sort of race from Yanez. He's pushed his way through the field, but quiet performance from him, because he's just sort of quietly been leading this race, making sure nobody can really attack him. Hasn't been an attack from anyone sort of on his lead in probably about 5-6 laps now. He's kind of been leading for the last maybe 7-8 laps non-stop. So he's definitely getting in a lot of laps led for SKG. But whether they'll hold on to this lead is the big question. You know, it is the massive question, is whether can he hold on to this or not, you know, with 2 cars behind him, but especially with Baptiste keeping up with him, you know, sort of keeping up with him throughout this race. 15 more laps of this race to go as well, so the laps are really starting to come down. And still with 1 more pit stop to go, who knows what is going to happen? Who knows? And now, Yanez Maybohm has made his decision. He's going to come into the pits onto lap 21, and he's going to head out on a new fresh set of tyres going onto lap 22. So he's in the pits, and he's making his way in now as we go onto lap 22. He's in that first pit box, of course, in the McLaren. He goes to a fresh set of hard tyres as he now heads away. 2 other drivers, Nilo and Ben, also come into the pits as well at the same time. So they're both in as well. And now we are getting underway. Baptiste now leads away, but he's got a big decision now for Baptiste. Baptiste has an absolutely massive decision he has to make in this race. Does he want to come in? And I think that is a yes. He wants to come in. But I want to see from Yanez Maybohm, how much time has he caught up by being on these fresh tyres? Because Baptiste has only gone in. He's only just gone in. He's just crossed the line going on to lap 23. Rob gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Let's see, where is Yanez Maybohm going to make his way round? There's Baptiste. Oh, that is a massive gap. Absolutely massive. Over 2 seconds is what he's lost in one single lap. As now Lumi takes the lead of the race here in Austria. Now he takes the lead, and AZR lead once again here tonight. How long has he been on that set of tyres? Only 3 laps. He leads by over 3 seconds in 3 laps. That's the time difference. A second a lap. A second a lap at the moment, which is absolutely crazy. Because he's now got over a 3-second lead in this race. And he's got a 13-lap dash to the line, and he gets a 3-second time penalty! Oh. He's got to keep it at that 3 seconds, but it's come below already. He's got 12 more laps of this race to go. Can he try to hold on to the lead as long as he can? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen here? But Lumi leads the way. 12 more laps of racing to come. But the laps, I have to say, the laps are disappearing so quickly here tonight. They are just evaporating. You know, every single lap. I mean, the laps are very short round. Austria, of course, you know. I mean, by the time you hit the middle, at the end of the middle sector, it's just 46 seconds is what it takes to reach the middle sector, you know, so just over a minute a lap. You know, that just shows how fast this track is and how short it is as well. You see, look at that, 1 minute 7. 1 minute and 7 seconds to complete a lap. It's so incredibly quick. But we've got to talk about Justin here, who's found himself up into P4, will be P6 by the end. But from qualifying last in 18th, he's not done too bad in this race, I've got to say. Has he had his second stop, though? Yes, he has. No, he's only had 1 stop. He's only had 1 stop. There goes BB the Flash for P4 in this race. Oh, and a bit of a slide from BB the Flash out of turn 3. Maybe showing the hard tyres all aren't there entirely. Who knows? So now, as we watch away, Lumi now leads by less than 2 seconds. He's losing about 6-7 tenths a lap at the moment. So he is losing quite a bit of time. He's about another 700 slower than his previous lap. So he is losing time. I mean, another 700s. Currently, everybody's on hards except Ben on those medium tyres. Not sure why he's gone to the mediums. They're not going to last till the end of the race. But now we're just waiting and seeing as Trusted and Woody come into the pits now. Once again in this race. Still 10 more laps to go in this race. 10 more laps to complete. This is going to be a real showdown for where everybody's going to go. It's really going to be a showdown here tonight. Look at that, 4 tenths slower this lap. Lumi's just gone 4 tenths slower than he did about 2-3 laps ago, so he's lost a huge amount of pace. He is dropping tenths now per lap. He seems to be dropping about 2 tenths a lap now. And that's not too good. Where is he going to go this lap? We saw 0.1 to 0.3. He's lost about another 2 tenths this lap, so he's losing quite a lot of time lap on lap. So in the last about 3 laps, he's lost about 3 tenths, so he's losing about a tenth a lap at the moment. So he's losing a lot of time right now, and this is not the time he needs to be losing. And there goes Ben on Justin for P6 in this race as he makes his way up another position as Nilo as well makes his move up into P4. Trying to stay ahead of BB the Flash. He doesn't get the best of exits. Now heading down towards turn number 4. I think he's just gotten that move made on the Ferrari. And into turn 4, he takes that P4 with ease, and that is a great move from himself. Incredible move there. I've just noticed Janus Mayboom hasn't actually caught up any more this lap than he did the previous lap. So are they both finding themselves now around the same pace? Or what's sort of going on here? Because he's just found the 10th, but it's proving to be a bit of a tough one now. Maybe, who knows? Who knows? We'll see. But the battle's really over P4 here. You know, we've got Nilo, BB the Flash, Ben. All, you know, these sort of three all in the battle, but mostly BB the Flash and Nilo, who are in the battle over P4. And it's proving to be incredibly close. So whoever picks up that extra point, it's going to be pretty interesting. Making his way through. BB the Flash still chasing after the man of Nilo, but we've got to look to the front drivers. Janus Mayboom has caught up to Lumi now, and into turn 3. Is there going to be a dive bomb? No, there's not. I think Janus more wants to make the move down this third straight, the hat-trick of straights. He wants to get that DRS, and he wants to make the move into turn 4. Which way is he going to go, left or right? He chooses left on the outside. Can he do it? Can he get the turn in? Yes, he can. He gets that move made. Janus Mayboom up into the lead of the race. As now he starts to run away with this race very, very quickly here tonight. He's going to try and run away as quickly as he can and pick up another win for SKG this season. As we're about to head into the 30s and onto lap number 30 of 36. The laps are really coming down quickly now. Janus Mayboom hasn't really been able to run away yet, though. I am going to say that. He hasn't really been able to run away so far. Still only 7/10 ahead of Lumi. So obviously Lumi still has some strength in his tyres because he's staying within a second for the moment. We've got to look further back to BB the Flash, who is all over the back of Nilo for P4 in this race. He is really all over the back of Nilo. We've seen this action unfold here for P4 in this race. Let's see. Final 5 laps. Can BB the Flash make it work? Very much this is the final few laps of the race. The end zone, as many would say. And now into turn 3. Can he get the exit? He's got to get a better exit than Nilo. But that seems to be the problem for BB the Flash. He either doesn't have the straight line speed, but he has got it now. Into turn 4. Oh, and contact with the back of Nilo. Into turn 4 he goes. This is an absolutely terrible camera angle. We've got to look. There's Nilo. Is he going to send it down the inside? No, he's not. He's going to give way, and into P5 he slots in, losing a place in tonight's race. Tallow in the pits again. That means he's actually going to get lapped by most of the grid, by the way. Down to P9, I believe, he's going to get lapped. So, disappointing race for himself. Quite a spaced out grid here tonight. But now, into turn 3, the action is going to heat up down the inside. He makes a bit of a fake move. Oh, he's having a bit of contact with BB the Flash. Again, opening that rear wing. We're going to see the battling as we head down towards turn 4. Chooses the outside line. He gets the move done early. Rob as well, getting the move done on Ben for P6 in this race. Not much further behind this action over P4 and P5. So maybe Rob could throw his hat in and have a chance. Maybe he could. Maybe he could. Maybe he can't. We'll have to see very soon. Because the laps are going by as we now gone to lap 33. 4 laps remaining of tonight's race. 4 laps left. The laps are absolutely disappearing. This race has gone by so incredibly quickly. And I cannot believe it. Nilo gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. BB the Flash makes his way back past again into turn 1. But look at this. The racing continues for position. Nilo easy pulls his way up into P4 once again. But look at this. Lumi challenging. Oh! Big contact between Lumi and Yanez. Lumi tags Yanez, almost tags Yanez around. And now Batiste has caught up a lot. He's now within 2 seconds. As now Speedmaster makes his way up into P8 in this race. With the penalties everybody else has, he might even be making up to P6 in tonight's race. Who knows? We'll have to see as it goes on. But Lumi leads. Batiste now is within a second. This has now become a 3-way fight once again, and he has picked up the DRS. But I think Lumi is just slowing down Yanez into Batiste. I think Lumi knows he can't win. It is team roles playing here. It is team orders. And those team orders are working incredibly well. 3 laps to go in tonight's race. 3 laps to go. And Lumi has held up Yanez, much like Sergio Perez with Max Verstappen in Abu Dhabi in 2021. Into turn 4, Lumi keeps his tyre in. He keeps it there. Can he make his way past? He's still banging tyres. He's still giving Yanez a tough time. He still wants to get past and defend more. But is he going to get out of the way of his teammate or not? We'll have to see in the next few moments. Is he going to get out of the way and do the good teammate game? What is going on here? Who is doing what? And when is everybody going to work together? Batiste now following closely behind with Lumi. Would he now retire from the session in the pit lane? He knows his day is done. And now, lap 35-36, the penultimate lap. Not much longer to go. Only 5 more DRS zones to go. And oh, Yanez has gone off. That's a 3-second time penalty for Yanez. Now following, Batiste gets the DRS. He gets the slipstream now heading up the hill. Who is going to let him pass? Is his teammate going to let him pass? No, he's not! Lumi is trying to hold on to the lead here. He doesn't want to give up his position. He is now in a battle, of course, for P2 in this race. Oh! Teammate contact! What is going on? Where are the team orders here? What is happening? I do not know. There's not long left. Nilo down the inside. He picks up P4. He's still battling with the man of Rob over P4 here. It is getting very, very tasty throughout the entire grid. It's getting fiery hot with all of this action. But now we've got to watch the leaders as they go on to the final lap of the race. Yanez Maybaum has already grown a 6/10 lead. Can he hold on to that? Or is he going to lose that almost immediately? Because you already see by the end of the pit straight, he's already down to 4/10 of a lead. Oh, that's Lumi that's gone off there. Again, extending track limits. Yanez Maybaum has been one of the people to do that. He's been very much using that to his advantage quite a few times. Down the inside goes Lumi. And contact through turn 3. Look at this, teammates. Not particularly liking each other here tonight. But Lumi backs out, knowing his teammates got more pace and the tyres behind him. And Batiste now hunts down Yanez. He's going to get the win because of penalties, but it's going to be, at the moment, a double podium for them. Rob now trying to make the move past Nilo for P4 in this race. There's a good old battle over these top 5 positions still. Into the next corner. On the inside is Rob. On the outside is Nilo. Heading round. Rob picks up P4, but we've got to look to the final corner. Yanez Mabon might cross the race in the lead, but it will be Batiste who wins for AZR in Austrian FRLT Force round number 5 of Season 5. As now we look further back, BB the Flash, he's gotten away with it. P4 in the end, as Nilo only finishes P6. And it's disappointment there. Ben, P7. Rob, P8. Justin, P9. Looks like Camper's going to come home in P10. And what an end to a race. What an end. And I can already see in the chat some very aggressive chatter between drivers. Proving to be quite interesting already. A bit of heat coming off from different drivers already. Pretty interesting. So here is the grid in the end. Batiste wins for AZR, followed by Yanez, Mabon, Lumi, BB the Flash, Speedmaster, Ben, Rob, Justin, Camper, and Trusted, who end out the top 10. Then is Gustav, Nilo, Talo, and then our times being Woody, Robbie, Daniel Mass, Dumb Donut, and Finjes. I know Nilo was out of the position because he did finish in the points, so his position will be reinstated. But that is that for tonight. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. My driver today has got to go to Batiste in the end. He is definitely my driver of the day. In the end, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please think about subscribing and leaving a like. Also, click on the notification bell to know about all the content we do, from short streams and videos. Also, make sure to join the Discord server in the link down below. And also, check us out on Twitter, as you can see at the top left, at FRLT F1. Ultimately, guys, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed it. And we will see you again. Make sure to join us for assists on Wednesday. No assists on Friday. There won't be fours next week, as it is a break week. But let's have one last look at the calendar. We've gone through Abu Dhabi, Monza, Spain, Imola, and now Austria. We'll have a break week next week before we come back for Las Vegas. Then we go into Brazil, Great Britain, Bahrain, Qatar, and Australia to end off the season. Ultimately, guys, thank you so much for joining me here tonight. I hope you all have a great week, and I'll see you again on Wednesday. Goodbye. Look at this! Look at the battling, and it is a safety car! Here comes Mika into Stoke Corner. Whoa! Almost! Away we go here in the Netherlands for F1 down towards the next cover. Oh, it is! Oh my god! Whoa! Bit of a season.
as Nolo wins in Monza for FRLT Tier 1 of 4. And